Hello. Last week we talked about why kids need money. Obviously, they need money to learn how to manage money, but they need something else. They need responsibility to learn this essential life skill. So, what is responsibility? What does responsibility mean to kids, and how do parents give kids responsibility for their money? Well, number one rule with money, especially cash money, which now includes physical cash, a debit card is cash, and a gift card is cash. All can be lost or stolen, and sometimes are difficult to replace. Kids need to be responsible for their cash. If they take cash to school to buy something, they need to know how to keep it safe and how to manage it so that they use it properly and they don't lose it. It's a big responsibility. It can be the first responsibility you give your kids when they have money, especially physical cash. And in my book, I recommend that kids track their money as a number. This would be another responsibility, that they keep track of all money in and all money out. This way, they always know how much money they have. When my grandson was little, he had a piggy bank. Kids have piggy banks, and he was getting some cash to start his allowance experience. But he really wanted to know how much money he had, so he kept a little notebook beside his piggy bank, so he always knew how much money he had. So now that they have some responsibility to keep track of their cash and to keep their cash safe, keep track of their money as a number, they can also start having some responsibility to pay for some expenses that are age appropriate. Obviously, they're not going to pay for rent or food, but they can buy their own school supplies. And this is an annual event. So if this is one thing you do with your kids every year, you will transfer to them a fund so that they can be responsible for choosing and buying their own school supplies. This gives them some ownership about the supplies, and maybe they won't lose that pencil as often because they're going to have to replace it with other money in their account. They also need to accept responsibility for their decisions. If they buy something and it breaks or it doesn't work the way they want, they made the choice. They're responsible for the result. Sometimes my kids would say, "Well, why did you let me buy that?" "Oh, I didn't let you buy it. You decided to buy it." And then they'd realize, oh, yeah, they couldn't blame me and say, "Mom, you bought me a toy and it broke." They bought it. They were responsible, and they accepted that. Because part of this responsibility that you're adding to your kids' money experience is helping them learn that money isn't just for fun. It's not all about me, the kid. They are learning that they have some responsibilities. Now, when kids get older and have a cell phone, oh my gosh, that's an essential for kids. Have them pay a small portion, just a small portion of that cell phone expense. It's money you would be spending anyway. You're just transferring it to them and giving them control to pay that cell phone bill on time. Now, if they don't subtract it from their account on time, there's a consequence. In most cases, it would be a late fee. So if your kid didn't pay that cell phone bill on time, you can assess a tiny late fee, very tiny. But they don't like seeing their numbers get smaller. They like their numbers to get bigger. This will be a lesson. Because anyone can spend for fun. If someone gives you money, oh, that's easy. You can spend for fun. But to manage it for all of those other things, that's a responsibility that your kids can start before they even start school. You are then creating a real life money management experience in your home, a little bit similar to what you do as an adult. Of course, kids are in a protected environment where they can't make any mistakes that are going to hurt them. Any mistakes they make are going to be educational. So you give them this experience of managing money for a variety of things. When my daughters got in high school, we started transferring money to them at the beginning of each semester, and it was hundreds of dollars. And one of them looked at me and said, "How am I going to manage all of this money for all of these things?" I said, "You'll figure it out." And she did. Kids will amaze you when you give them that opportunity to do it. They want to be in charge. They want to manage their money. Let them. Click on that link below to read this complete blog and maybe even order a copy of my book. You can also download allowance log sheets for your kids that start as young as they're in preschool. And please subscribe and share this with other parents. Thanks for listening.